Hi everybody, I'm Brendan and I work as part of the ITV London team. I've got with me two very special guests, Ali Campbell and Astro from UB40.
Hi,
What's up?
I'm going to start with something we were just talking about before we started this, which is how long you guys have known each other, how long this band has been part of your life.
Ooh. Well, I started UB40 back in 1979 when I was 2 years old.
That's 1979. Remember that, kids?
When I was 2 years old. Yeah. And basically half of the band went to school together and the other half went to another school together. But we came together as a sort of gang in Birmingham in 1979, and we've known each other ever since.
That's mad. And you, I've seen a film about the band, and if I remember rightly, you started it, didn't you?
Yeah. It was my mission was to promote reggae music, and it still is. I'm on the same mission today. For however popular reggae is, it still doesn't get enough coverage, I don't think, on the media, and not enough airplay. Quite right, yeah. So that gives us the impetus to carry on.
I'll come on to the album in a minute. I just want to talk about that reggae thing because it strikes me that there's a lot of politics in the air. It's, Brexit, we've got Trump, we've got people who
are... well, protest lyrics are a bit conspicuous by their absence,
yes,
aren't they?
Yes, definitely.
But I'd say that's because, the pop scene has been sort of monopolised by Simon Cowell and people like that doing that sort of, the X Factor and all that stuff. So there hasn't really been any room for protest singers really to come along,
Yeah.
But there's obviously a lot to protest about, and I think there'll be bands coming up that will be able to have a lot more to say. I hope.
You would have thought so. Yeah, it's just that over the years, there've been a few bands that you'd have thought with everything that's been going on, you'd have expected some angry young men to be, venting their anger through lyrics. And there's been nothing. I mean, there've been some great album titles from bands that would suggest that they're politically driven, but absolutely no content whatsoever. So hopefully that will change.
But reggae was always the music of protest, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
And
downtrodden, oppressed.
It's a sufferer's music, but it's also a healing music, to use all the cliches. It's about peace and love and unity, man.
Well, speaking of love, you've got a new album out.
With the real labour of love.
There you go. Can you tell me a little bit about this? It's sort of, you've done cover albums before, but this is a bit of a twist.
Yeah, well, the twist with this album is the first three that we've done, they were the songs that we listened to when we was growing up as kids. This album are the songs that we was listening to when we first started touring as a band.
So a bit older, more mature as musicians.
Yeah, and this is what was floating our boats at the time.
This is what made us continue to love reggae, whereas the first three Labour of Love albums were, from the early 60s, and we were too young to be... into ska or rocksteady, this is when we were up and about, and the 80s. The lead track was "She Loves Me Now" by Beres Hammond, he owned the 80s as far as reggae was concerned, and he was like a god to me, I think he's like the Otis Redding of reggae, so we couldn't really do an 80s collection without putting in a few Beres Hammond things.
And is that, either of you really, what's your favourite tracks on this album? Who are,
That's a bit like asking you which is your favourite child. Every single track on there is a brilliant track. For us, it's all killers, no fillers.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of doing the Labour of Love albums. They're all
songs that we loved anyway.
Proven to be hits in the reggae field. So we always thought it's a no-brainer. People is going to love. They're going to love Cherry O Baby when they hear it. They're going to love Many Rivers to Cross. And hopefully it'll be the same with this.
And again
album.
with these, because these songs, you've got to have been be of a certain age to remember these. As the originals, what I mean? So we're bringing these to a totally new audience.
And I guess you've reinterpreted those classic songs before and made them classic, so the songs that might be on this album, which might be new to a lot of people,
they're classics already, in the reggae world, and we just hope that people, that we'll get across to a new audience, and when people listening to our versions of stuff,
we'll then go out and
visit
to
the originals, which is always nice.
What about playing them live? You're playing next Monday at
Royal Albert Hall. Yeah, we're doing the Teenage Cancer Trust on Monday, the 19th of March, and that's something that's very dear to us because we lost our good friend and trombone player to cancer earlier on this year, so we're doing the Royal Albert Hall with him very much in mind, But it's the first time they've had a reggae night at the Teenage Cancer Trust, so I'm really, really proud of that.
Yeah, so we will give a couple of the new tracks airing, just to see crowd reaction.
But we've got great guests as well.
Oh, who have you got?
Yeah, we've got Holly Cook and her fantastic reggae band.
David Hines.
Brimsley Ford, Dennis Bevell.
Yeah.
So.
Is it right you've not played the Albert Hall before? Is that?
Oh, I've played it several times.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's a very daunting place to play though because of the way it's built. If you're on stage, there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah, you've got stalls right above you.
It's like they're all over you. But it's fun as well, and it's very, very posh. It's good for reggae, that's for sure.
And is it right that there's a tour in the offing as well, a bigger tour of
Well, we're sort of on the road. We have been for 4 years. We're off to South Africa fairly soon. We're going to Cork tomorrow and back to do the Royal Albert Hall. Yeah. And then we're off to South Africa and the West Coast in California.
We're mainly doing festivals this year, but next year
we'll be doing
stadiums and
a big stadium tour.
So there's just the two of you here, but it's a much bigger...
Oh yeah, there's 10 of us on stage in a live situation. Yeah. Mickey, I don't know how he didn't make it down here today, but
that's Mickey.
Yeah, but there's the three of us and the rest of the band, and as far as I'm concerned, we're the tightest band out there on the road at the moment.
Tell you like it is, Astro.
That's great. I would be remiss of me not to ask you, as I mentioned that film documentary about the band earlier. Serious questions.
Documentary.
Serious
that was awful. That didn't address any of the real problems.
Really.
What
it just
went
left
on.
you with that overriding factor of it was great while it lasted, but shame how it all ended up.
I mean, you were tremendously successful in your pomp, weren't you?
Still are.
I mean, no doubt, but tremendously successful in the 80s in terms of album sales.
Well, that's why we just went in at number 2. So that's the highest album position we've had in about 25 years. So we're well chuffed.
And certainly, one of the things, just touching on that film, was the lack of brotherly love, if I can put it that way. That's,
well, we were all brothers, and there wasn't a lack of brotherly love. What happened was, I had to leave my own band because of management, and I expected, that my brothers would come with me, but as it happens, they didn't. But that's old news now, and they don't really impact on what we're doing, and we're busy. Well, we're at number 2 in the charts and we're on a world tour, so we're doing what we always do.
Fantastic. It sounds like you're having the time of your life. Final question. If you're in a wine bar and you're ordering some red wine, what's your favourite red wine?
Well, we'd go for the UB40 red wine, that's right. Definitely. It's a cuvée, it's a Bordeaux Superior. You can get it online at eminentlife.com. And 30 years of research went into that wine, so enjoy it.
Thanks, lads. That's fantastic.
Cool.
That's it from me. Keep watching. We'll have another great interview coming your way shortly.